Let's connect. Lights, camera, page, stories, every stage. Reels, reads, real talk of the show. Come on in, let's connect.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Stewart Connects, Reels, Reads, and Real Talk. So today we're going to be doing Reels, and I'm going to give a few thoughts about a couple of movies, one of which I just saw, and another I saw a few months back. But this one was so similar to that, I thought I would talk about the both of them together. And I'm going to connect them to each other and to me and women like me. So here we are. So the first movie that we're going to talk about is The Last Showgirl. It is starring Pamela Anderson, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Dave Bautista. Directed by Gia Coppola, granddaughter of Francis Ford Coppola. Godfather, Scarface, Apocalypse Now. But she's become her own person, doing her own thing. And I believe this is her third film. I did not see the other films. But this one was, I thought, really well done. So the film starts and it follows the life of a woman played by Pamela Anderson, who finds herself in the middle of a not so midlife crisis. I'll talk about that a little bit later. After finding out from the stage manager played by Dave Bautista that the show that she has been a showgirl in for just over 30 years, it will be closing in about 3 weeks. So not a lot of time, but it's the only thing that she's done. She gave up motherhood. She gave up relationships. She gave it all up to do this show. And this is the only thing that she's been doing all these years. So the movie follows Pamela Anderson's character. Her best friend, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is a former showgirl. I don't know much about Pamela Anderson beyond Baywatch, which is a show that I did not watch. Much like Farrah Fawcett did, 80s or 90s. Pamela Anderson is moving away from the whole bombshell thing and embracing her age and embracing the whole idea of not being looked at as a sex object. It was an enjoyable movie. I can't say that there was anything that stood out to me that I would say, hey, you need to see this movie. Jamie Lee Curtis, as always, was incredible. They have her looking a little funky, but that's just me being me. But she was good. Pamela Anderson is good. Jamie Lee Curtis is someone that you want to see more of. Even with the whack makeup and the whack wig, you want to see more of her. So that is The Last Showgirl, which we're going to talk about a little more. Right now, we're going to talk about the other movie that is that I feel is comparable to The Last Showgirl, and that is The Substance. The Substance, starring Demi Moore and Dennis Quaid. Elizabeth Sparkle, renowned for her aerobic show, faces a devastating blow on her 50th birthday as her boss, played by Dennis Quaid, fires her. Amid her distress, a laboratory offers her a substance which promises, watch out for those promises, to transform her into an enhanced version of herself. This was a movie I went in there, I didn't see any previews, I didn't know what it was going to be about, but I really enjoyed the movie. Demi Moore, who just won a Golden Globe for the first time in all these years of her acting, so congratulations, Demi. It follows Demi Moore's character as she grapples with what to do when she decides to use this substance. I won't give you any more information than that because I feel like it'll spoil the movie, which is no longer in theaters, but I'm sure you can find it on a streaming service. But it also tackles the whole idea of aging out of a system that you once felt comfortable in and you now are an outsider. Um, they look at it from two different directions or two different ways, but it's the same thing. And for me, when I watched The Last Showgirl, I thought about the substance because it's the whole idea of beauty and age being comparable. And so if you can't really be so beautiful if you're a certain age. I was, I was impressed by the substance, and I was impressed by Demi Moore because most of the movie she doesn't have dialogue. She really doesn't speak through most of the movie. The young woman who plays a younger version of her, she has a lot of dialogue, but Demi Moore doesn't, and I think that was brilliant. I think it was really well done because when you have a role and you aren't really speaking and most of it's done through your body and through your movement, you really get an opportunity to see this person's range. And Demi Moore has a lot of range, so I appreciated that. And I appreciated the movie. Dennis Quaid was good. He didn't have a really big part. His part's pretty gross. The part that everybody talks about, the whole chewing of food, which was, I feel like, went on too long. The movie, I thought, hit every spot up until maybe 80% in. That last bit pulled me out of it because it's unlike The Last Showgirl, which is a woman's story. It's pretty basic. It's a basic story. It's nothing fantastical. Well, the substance is. It is sci-fi mixed in with a woman grappling with her age and her aging out in society. That sci-fi, super horror, woman dysmorphia thing they had at the end, for me, it took it down. It took it down from what I would have said as a 5-star. It took it down to a 4. And so the reason I put the movies together was I want to discuss my feeling about the whole idea, or Hollywood's idea, of saying how women aren't treated the same and older women get the shaft when it comes to movies, which I agree. I think that there are many women like Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett who are older and managed to get roles, but I understand that they're far and few between. I agree with that. However, I don't have a problem with younger women having an opportunity because those same women, those same women, Pamela Anderson and Jamie Lee Curtis, and on and on and on, and Demi Moore, they had an opportunity during their lifetime when they were younger, and they capitalized on those opportunities, which, bravo for them. Great for you. You did exactly what you should have done. All the applause goes to you. Great for you. But now I don't have a problem with younger actors, actresses, actors having that same opportunity. I don't think that just because you're older, you should not get roles. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't have a problem with younger women having the same opportunity that those women had. And if you can mix them like they did with both of these movies, because in the substance, you have an opportunity to see a seasoned actress like Demi Moore with a younger actress. And the actress who plays a younger version of her is Margaret Qualley. I think I said that right. Maybe not, I don't know. But they did a great job together. And I didn't walk out of there feeling like I have to, feel bad for anybody, because I feel like they both had a shot and they both did great. And the same with The Last Showgirl, where you had an opportunity to see older actresses playing along younger actresses. So, that being said, for me, if I was to rate The Last Showgirl, I would also give it 4 buttery popcorns. And that's because even though it was good, I don't feel like it ranks a 5 because it didn't hold my interest in the way that I had hoped. What I promised you when you stepped into this room with me and decided to listen to my thoughts on movies, I promised you something different than you're gonna get from other critics. And that's because my age, I am a woman of a certain age, and I have a different perspective. I've been watching movies for lots of years and I love them and I love to talk about them. So this is an opportunity for me to do that. But I wanted you to have an opportunity to get opinion from somebody who is not a man, who's not in their 30s, who's not in their 20s, somebody who's different, and that's me. And as someone who is a woman of a certain age, not quite the age of Pamela Anderson or Demi Moore, but certainly getting up there to the point where I can step back and say, I'm okay with younger actresses having that opportunity to shine the same way that gorgeous Jamie Lee Curtis did, that gorgeous Pamela Anderson did, and gorgeous Demi Moore. And I feel like I grew up, maybe not on Pamela Anderson because I never watched Baywatch, but certainly Demi Moore. And being the horror queen that I am, I grew up with the scream queen herself, Jamie Lee Curtis. So that's my thoughts on The Last Showgirl and The Substance. I would recommend them both. The Last Showgirl is currently in theaters, and The Substance is going to be on some streaming service. I don't know if it's there yet, but if and when it gets there, I recommend that you check it out. Okay? Thanks again for joining me. And this is Nalo with a few thoughts.
Lights.